energy flows where attention goes. Wherever you place your attention, that's what you're literally energizing. When you place your attention in a particular direction or on a particular thing, it's much like planting a seed, and that seed will germinate and evolve and grow and bear some type of fruit. And sometimes this process is described as karma, where we're reaping the fruits of that which we've sowed. So energy flows where attention goes. This means that consciousness is primary. Your attention is primary. It's the leader, and energy, resources, confirmation, reflections, all of those elements of life follow the lead of your consciousness. We can also say that where attention goes, energy flows. Energy flows where attention goes. Where attention goes, energy flows. Play with it however you'd like, but this axiom is so vital to life, because how often do we slip into patterns of planting seeds where we don't actually desire to harvest fruit? In other words, we pay attention to things, we energize things, we invest in certain beliefs and thoughts and perspectives, perhaps in people, places, or things that don't actually serve us. And where I see this come up a lot, both in myself and with my coaching clients, is there's a tendency for the awareness to default into the past, into what's already happened, into the known, K-N-O-W-N, the known elements of life. We tend to gravitate our consciousness towards what's already known. And with this comes kind of a recycling, a reviewing, and in some cases, a regretting of what's already occurred. When we're not connected to what's possible, when we don't have an active relationship with the unknown and an emotional connection to that possibility, we slip back into the repeated cycles of what's already occurred. So I'd like to draw a clear distinction here between past and possibility. What's past, what's already known, and what's possible, the realm of the unknown. There is a certain allure to the known in that it's familiar. It has a quality of safety because it's already known. And with that comes a certain degree of comfort and convenience. I already have a sense of what I'm focusing on. So there's this kind of dynamic of control and familiarity that feels safe. It feels safe on a particular level. What the Vedas teach, the Vedas are an ancient Indian body of knowledge, many thousands of years old. What the Vedas teach is it's actually safest to be perpetually moving in the direction of the unknown, to have the creative aspect of our lives in the driver's seat, so that our consciousness is habitually oriented around what's possible, what we're creating, and who we're becoming. The Vedas teach us that on a macro level, from the largest vantage point, nothing's happening but evolution. all change is actually evolutionary. Even the change that is destructive or stagnant, even those darker pockets of life are actually progress. And when we bump up against things in life, when we experience friction and suffering, that's actually an invitation into greater awareness. When we run into something, it's nature's way of inviting us into greater awareness, using the experience of running into that thing such that course correction and transformation are possible. So nature's agenda, if we want to call it an agenda, is progress. And that progress is facilitated both by the obvious progress through affirmation, celebration, and joy and bliss, as well as the progress that arrives in the form of wake-up calls and bumpiness and suffering, such that we see ourselves in a new light and create a more and more aligned path that feels holistically juicy and evolutionary for us as individuals. So as a mindfulness practice, what I'd like to invite you into today is becoming aware of where you place your attention. Can you become aware of where you invest your awareness into? In those moments where you see yourself recycling, regretting, focusing upon the past, what's already known, my invitation is that you use that recognition as a wake-up call to then shift into what's possible, to shift into possibility, to orient your awareness. When you recognize you're oriented around the past, use that as a mindfulness practice to then shift into focusing upon who you're becoming and what you're creating. Energy flows where consciousness goes. So we can continue to focus on seeds of the past and to try to fertilize those and invest. We're literally investing in what already has been in the present. Or we can shift our awareness and then our thoughts and our choices and our actions into cultivating new seeds, new possibilities, new ways of being. What's important here is that your attention is primary because everything else is following the cue of your consciousness. So if we can zoom out, if we can step back to the ground level and become aware of where we place our attention, then we can follow with the inspired action and the inspired energy. When we go through life unconscious, we tend to default into what's safe, what's familiar, what's known, and what's past. And my invitation to you is when you recognize yourself slipping into, defaulting into recycling past experiences, use that recognition as a wake-up call and an invitation to shift into what's possible. From past to possibility, from what I have created to what I can create. You have a creative function to your beingness. Your power, your potential as a creator is one of the most vital, intimate aspects of what you are. You are a creative being, and nature is perpetually inviting us and encouraging us to step more fully into our roles as co-creators of our experience. That's us claiming our role as creator in the driver's seat of our own evolution. And when we begin to really orient our awareness around our own evolution, nature takes notice. Nature responds. Nature responds in turn to what you're delivering, what you're offering. My meditation teacher, Tom Knowles, has always said, the world is for us as we can be for it. So if you can be a stand for your own evolution and be in the practice of guiding your awareness towards that trajectory of progress, nature is going to come flooding in to support and guide and inspire. It's like when you're willing to say, I'm going to step out onto the field and I'm going to start playing full out, I'm going to start really participating in my own progress, nature goes, oh, wow, she is very serious about this, so I'm going to reflect that back. On the other hand, if you're on the sidelines, taking a passive role, not really investing anything or offering much, nature in turn is going to reflect that back. And since that way of being creates stagnation and is not in alignment with that evolutionary flow, what you start to attract to yourself in that case is destruction. So when you as an individual are on that path of evolution, nature supports that because it's in alignment with the macro. And when you as an individual are stuck and stagnant and repeating the past, nature moves in with destruction because you have nominated yourself as an unsustainable element of the larger trajectory. So you can jump in the stream of evolution and play ball here, or you can continue to resist, hide, and distort and get in your own way such that you then begin to attract the destructive forces of nature, which may feel like somewhat of a punishment, but are actually arriving in service of new course correction, new awareness, and ultimately your own transformation. So your mindfulness practice is when you notice your attention is gravitating towards past, use that as your cue to shift into possibility. Move from what's past to what's possible in your awareness and watch your life follow where you're habitually placing your attention. Energy flows where your attention goes, moment to moment. Thank you so much for being here with me today. My name is Matthew Spangler of The Meditation Effect, and I'll see you really soon. Namaste.